I knew about 100 meters in, that was totally a line that he pulled on me because he went as hard as he could, so he popped me. Once the gap was made, I couldn't get back. And so came out of the water a little bit behind. I got onto my bike, and then I had issues right away with my bike. There was something wrong with the wheel. It was rubbing against one of the front brake pads.
Go get it, Kenny! Last meter, I definitely would want to close this gap now or start thinking about second place.
You know, there's a big saying in triathlon, out of sight, out of mind. And Tim was gone. I didn't see him anymore. I couldn't focus him on down the road and try and reel him in. I thought it was going hard, but I was still losing a little bit of time. It was definitely different. You know, I crossed the finish line. I was a little grumpy. You know, I was the loser. It wasn't like I was sitting second place. Usually in any other race, I was second place. You know, it's a good performance. Today, I was last. You know, I was either first or last. I was the guy who came in last, so it was hard to deal with.
I'm not concerned about Peter Reed. I've seen him overcome the deepest, darkest holes of adversity and pull himself back to the world champion. And I honestly think he's the man to beat.
Here I am at the BC Time Trial Championships. The whole point of all the races I've been doing the last month is to try and get fitness back quicker. I'm with my brother Dave, and we got to hang out, and I haven't seen him since his marriage. Every time you race, you get a little bit more fitness. Even the race last weekend, I got beat, but I woke up Monday morning, felt like I'd done something really hard, and I felt I'd reached another little level. So this race today, it's 40 kilometers, as hard as I can go. It's something I'm not used to, but it's definitely going to push up my cycling a little bit more, get me a little bit stronger, a little bit closer to the fitness I need to be. And I'm used to that comfort zone. So part of the plan today is to get me out of the comfort zone. Almost attack on the bike. And I need to do that to be able to ride with guys like Norman Stadler. You know, Norman goes by me in Hawaii, and I'm in my comfort zone, and I have trouble getting out of it. So if I can teach myself at some of these little races to get out of that comfort zone, it'll help a little bit more on race day.
Peter Reed's pretty much God in the sport. He's very talented, incredibly fast. So, yeah, hopefully one day I'll be like him.
What's it like, sort of contrasting the private versus the public image?
Definitely when I see like a race like ironman, he looks larger than life, and I always tell my friends it's quite entertaining. You know, he's running on the course, and he looks like 6'7" giant, right, and all built. And I always laugh because after the race, he puts on his shirt and his pants, and I'm like, he's such a little weenie. Like he's just a tiny guy, right? But on the race day, he looks like a giant.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Like I said, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and you know, it made me realize, you know, here I am doing these trainer workouts, thinking I'm going hard, and I just raced at another level. So they're kind of fun, but they're you hit the turnaround, you're like, ooh.
It's always good to come home after spending, I guess, 3 to 4 months over in the States. You're heading over there to race and, I guess, avoid the winter here in Australia. I guess the downside of things is that you miss your family and you don't get to see your family and friends for 3 to 4 months, and that's the part that I find difficult. You're always thinking about, I guess, next month and the Ironman in Kona. Most focus is on that. You try not to I guess, worry about it. Once you start worrying, it's a bit of wasted energy.
Luke Bell, I think, is the #1 guy of the next generation. I think the only thing going against him is that he tends to look up to some of the older guys too much.
I guess this is going to be my 4th year this year. I've had lucky enough to have some good results there, and unfortunately, I guess last year wasn't quite the result we were after, but you sort of know what to expect now. You're starting to learn the race. I'm not saying the race is an easy one. It's one of those races you always go into in fear.
Well, right now I'm 2 weeks out from the Hawaii Ironman, and I've just come back from a really, really hard training camp on a big island. And I was there for 3 weeks, and the plan was to get in 2 really hard 7-day blocks. I'm actually in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada's ski capital. You know, I'm training for the Ironman. Why am I here? Well, it's the off season. There's nothing going on here. It's very quiet. I have pretty much no friends here. So I put myself in a very relaxing area. You know, I've got my brother's place. It's quiet. There's no one here. I'm not getting any phone calls. No one's dropping by to say hello. Just put myself in a very peaceful, rejuvenating setting. And, you know, this is part of my plan. A lot of times when you're racing an Ironman, you get to these points where you're just suffering, and you're like, why am I doing this? This is so hard. That's the wrong time to be answering that question. When I put myself in a very secluded area, I can work through my thoughts. It's kind of my form of meditation. It's my form of being at peace with myself, answering those questions. Why do I race? Why am I a professional triathlete? Where I am in my life right now. So there's no distractions. I can work through all those thoughts and all those reasons. So when I actually get out there on race day, everything's answered.
Since August, I've been sort of gearing up my training to Hawaii. I'm now actually starting the taper. I do a 3-week taper for Kona. Going into Kona this year, I feel great. You know what? I feel like I'm as strong as I've ever been. But there's so many factors leading into Kona, and there's so many girls that go there that I could still go there and have a great race, and that could place me 10th. If somebody were to ask me what my chances are to win Hawaii or to have a great race there, you know, that's a tough one, because I go into that race being in the best shape and the best condition that I can, and I know that if I have a good race, I can be in the running, and that's the goal.
2 weeks ago, the baby arrived, so that was nice, and it feels kind of nice your body comes back to normal pretty quickly, so it feels nice just to have sort of your own body back again.
She seems really happy, and the baby is gorgeous. You know, Tyson is a cute little thing, and I really think she's very happy.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing? You gonna do some grunting for us? I think it's even better than what I expected. You know, I was really excited to have him, but once he really arrived, then it's even more than what you thought, and you want to spend every minute with them, and even if you just find yourself staring at them, it's nice to be able to have that time now, because you can't really go back to it later. You know, when you love racing and competing, it's a hard thing not to be there, and it's a pretty special place.
If you were a passenger sitting next to me on a flight to Hawaii, you would be sitting beside someone who's extremely quiet. When the plane touches down in Kona, all these nerves, I get a little shaky, and it's just like, this is the real deal. I am here for one reason, and that's to race as fast as I can to the Hawaii Ironman. One of the first things I do when I get to the place I'm staying, I take all my bags out and I go out for a 30-minute run, just to help calm myself down from all that shock of being back on the island to perform.
It's been a great year. You know what? I've had a lot of good races, a lot of great training, a lot of fun along the way, so it's nice to be here. This is the 15th year that I've been here, so it feels like coming back home when I come here to Kona. But at the same time, I really can't believe that in a few days I'm going to be racing the Ironman again.
Something's got to happen. Somebody's got to piss me off. Somebody's got to make me mad. I need to be pissed off race day. That's just the way I really excel. I get into the zone. I'm kind of waiting for that. And usually that happens to press conference. Someone will say something or someone will look at me differently. But right now I'm still in that laid back mode, which is great because I'm conserving energy and my muscles are staying loose.